Wow, Friday the 13th, A New Beginning was surely something. I said in my last video that I was excited to continue watching this franchise as we continue our slasher summer, because the last movie was actually pretty decent. As we began learning more about interesting characters, the plot began to progress, and it felt like there was an actual story beginning to form. And then we get A New Beginning.
Now you're gonna get it, bitch.
I can't say that this movie didn't entertain me, because it did. This movie is insanely entertaining, but I don't know if it's for the right reason, because I was dying of laughter watching this thing the whole time. I mean, it's so funny. I really just think that this movie is a comedy, just kind of pretending to be a horror movie. You also get everything you want from a Friday the 13th movie in this one. There's the kills, the sex, the blood, all of that stuff. There's literally like a billion kills in this movie. It's insane. But I can't say A New Beginning is a good movie, because it's really not. This movie is pretty bad. The story is non-existent. The characters are so forgettable, and the Jason is the weakest I have seen yet.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
First, I thought I should wear something more appropriate, since this is slasher summer. So I threw on this Hawaiian shirt that I found in my closet. I don't know.
Cowabunga.
Get some rent-a-cop night security job.
Tell Mom's story.
Listen, you snot-nosed little shit! I was taking shrapnel and K-Sod while you were crapping in your hands and rubbing it on your face!
So by 1985, it was no secret that the Friday the 13th franchise was a serious cash cow for Paramount Pictures. I mean, these movies were making so much money. After the final chapter, like I said about part 3, Paramount Pictures was like,
Damn, we gotta make another one of these movies.
because it's literally generating money.
Bitch, bitch!
In 1985, we get Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. Joseph Zito, who directed the final chapter, said peace, and Danny Steinmann stepped in. They call it A New Beginning because it's supposed to be a whole new start on the franchise, right? The first 4 films are done, and we're moving on with a new story.
Psych, bitch. No way.
Yeah, you thought. The movie opens up with Corey Feldman again as he's watching some grave robbers dig up Jason. Jason comes alive, kills them both really easily, and then comes towards Tommy.
Oh my God! The dead has risen!
But it's a dream sequence. And then we meet the real Tommy, who we're really going to be following in this film. It's been some years since part 4, apparently, because Tommy is like 47 now. He's played by John Shepard. And this Tommy is the most moody, angsty, kind of just like stares off into the distance. He doesn't talk much.
How was the ride?
Tommy is on his way to Pinehurst halfway house because it seems like he's been going around to different psychiatric hospitals, you know, just kind of making his rounds, and he ends up here. This place is run by Dr. Matt Letter and his director, Pam Roberts. As I said, Tommy is very reluctant and doesn't want to talk much or speak to Matt and Pam. He's just kind of like,
Fuck you guys.
so Tommy fucks off to his room where he meets Reggie. Reggie gives Tommy a nice little scare.
You scared of spiders?
I will stab you in the neck with a knife!
And Tommy pays the favor back. Reggie actually is the best character in the film, I think. You just have to root for him. He's just so likable. And like everyone else is just pretty forgettable, so go Reggie. So Tommy thinks Reggie is an attendant at the halfway house, but Reggie is just visiting because his grandfather, George, is the cook. But then there's some commotion going on outside, so everyone runs out, right? And then we meet Eddie and Tina, who have been
Screwing their heads off.
on somebody's property, and they got caught. They're getting brought back in the cop's car. Well, the people are Ethel,
Say it like you mean it, Ma!
Would you shut the fuck up?
and they are the most cartoonish characters I have seen on screen in a long time. I mean, these people just, they don't seem real. They're so gross, they're so like angry, they're so upset with Matt and what he's trying to do. I mean, Matt's just a good guy, right? He's just trying to help a bunch of people out who are struggling, but you know, they're like,
Fuck you, Matt, you piece of shit.
they want his place shut down.
I want this loony bin closed down.
You tell him, Ma!
And the sheriff is kind of like, my hands are tied. You gotta keep your people in check, Matt. Meanwhile, Tommy's watching from his window, scaring the living shit out of me. So then we head to the backyard where we see an absolute unit of a man named Vic who is just chopping down wood. And hey, isn't that suicide from the Return of the Living Dead? Holy shit, it is.
I ain't sitting here 2 fucking hours.
Okay, from this movie and Return of the Living Dead, I know this guy is serious and he is not to be fucked with. And holy shit, none other than Joey walks out from the door. Joey is... I think Joey means well. You know, I really do. He is going around asking to help out with people's chores.
Can I help?
I'm really very good at doing laundry. Matt never assigns it to me. I don't know why.
But he's got like chocolate on his face. It's like, wipe it up, dude. It's not a good look. And he's just annoying. I'm sorry, Joey, but you're annoying the living shit out of everyone. So Joey goes up to Robin and Violet, asking to help out. They just tell him to fuck off.
It's really no problem.
Joey! It's off.
He gives him a little of attitude, though. You know, Joey stands his ground, kind of. Ultimately, he just
Fucks off.
I'll just go help somebody else instead.
And then he starts heading in the direction of Vic. Now, Joey, I advise against this. Vic is clearly in a state of rage right now. The man is just chopping down wood. He is pissed.
Leave me alone!
Don't go over there. Do not annoy him, Joey. He goes up to Vic. Vic's like, fuck off, Joey. I'm gonna fuck you up. And Joey gets upset with him.
But I think you're really out of line.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Vic just takes his life. I mean, holy shit, what? Vic just chops Joey down. Paramedics show up right away.
Bunch of pussies.
And yeah, it's a grisly scene. As the paramedics are wrapping up Joey's body, one of them is giving his best Tommy impression, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? It's gonna be important later, but let's just forget about him for now. The film transitions to a couple of greasers who are stuck on the road. These characters are total wastes. They just get killed right away, and the kills aren't even that cool. Tommy is totally losing it. He is crashing out. He's having visions of Jason. He's hearing Jason in his mind. He cannot stop thinking about what happened to him when he was a kid. And then George totally lowbrows Reggie in front of everyone while they're having breakfast. Reggie wants to go see his brother, and George is kind of like, yeah, we'll see.
Can I go see my brother? He'll be in town tomorrow.
We'll see.
But Gramps.
I said we'll see, Reggie.
You can't tell me what to do. Who elected you the mayor?
At breakfast, we meet Jake, who is another person staying at the halfway house. And yeah, they're all eating. Matt is just telling everyone he wants them to stay on the premises. Things aren't looking that good right now, especially with what just happened to Joey. Tommy comes down, you know, just being Tommy. And Eddie totally gives him a nice old scare. You know, Tommy doesn't really like this too much, and it turns out that Tommy can totally kick ass.
Relax, Chief. What's wrong? No sense of humor? Can't you take a joke?
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Where the fuck did Tommy learn to do this? This dude is insane. He can totally beat the shit out of you if he wants. And then Matt's like, hey, it's okay, Tommy. You're okay. It's gonna be all right. We then cut back to Ethel and Junior just living their life when a random dude shows up named Raymond. Now, Raymond, his character is just so pointless. There's no point for Raymond to be in this movie, and I'll explain why here in a minute. So Sheriff Cal begins to hypothesize that the killings might be the return of Jason.
Looks like we got us a maniac on the loose, huh, Sheriff?
It becomes night again, and one of the workers at the halfway house named Billy is wanting to party. He wants to do coke, he wants to drink, and he totally wants to score with this waitress named Lana. So he goes to the diner that she works at and wants to pick her up. She's like, hey, Billy, give me a little bit of time, okay? So she goes in to get ready. As Billy is in his car, just ripping snow bunnies.
Cloudy in the mountains, sunny in the valleys, and snow flurries up your nose.
He gets brutally murdered by Jason with a hammer to the head. Lana comes out to see his dead body, and she gets it too. Her kill is a little bit better than Billy's, as she gets an axe. We then cut right back to Tommy staring out the window. He's been doing this for the past 40 minutes. And then we have Mayor Cobb and Sheriff Tucker just like going at it, just barking at each other.
What the hell's going on here? I mean, this is a small town, man. And small towns are supposed to be safe.
And Sheriff Tucker's like, I think it's Jason. I think Jason's back. And yeah, it just goes back and forth. And it's actually really funny. And this movie has been pretty fucking funny up to this point. So Eddie and Tina want to go
Screwing their heads off
on Ethel's property again because they don't give a shit. And yeah, they go out there and they begin doing the deed. You see a lot in this movie. I've commented so much about how horny these movies are. There's really no more points to be made. All these movies are super horny, and it's going to keep being like that, I think, right? But there's some really cool kills in this little sequence. Tina gets shears to the eyes, which looked really painful, and Eddie gets a similar fate by getting a belt to his eyes while Jason has him pinned against a tree. Really actually disgusting kills, and they were pretty badass. Oh, and also Raymond, the guy who was helping out with Ethel, just gets murdered. He's like a peeping Tom character, just watching these people have intercourse, and gets just stabbed in the gut by Jason. So it's nightfall again, and Pam, Tommy, and Reggie are all going to visit Reggie's brother, Demon. And holy shit, Demon is played by Miguel Nunez, who is Spider in Return of the Living Dead.
How do we kill those things? You don't.
I mean, obviously, yeah, they're not the same characters, but Demon looks literally just like Spider in Return of the Living Dead. Pam and Reggie are having a good time with Demon and his girlfriend. They're just hanging out in his van, but Tommy decided to stay back at the car. He goes for a little bit of a walk. While he's walking, he runs into Junior. Holy shit, Tommy, this isn't good. Junior does not like you. He does not want you near his property. They get into a fight, and Tommy totally beats his ass.
I said, are you hearing me?
Fight me if you're ready to die.
So as Tommy's beating his ass, Pam and Reggie see what's going on, and Pam is just like, let's get the hell out of here. I mean, she's literally like the director of this halfway house. She's supposed to be professional, and she's like, let's just scram, motherfucker. So Demon goes to take a shit in the bathroom, and he's having some trouble. And his girlfriend like comes up, she starts singing to him, they start singing back and forth.
Ooh, baby. Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Pam and Reggie get back to the halfway house, and Tommy had run off when they were driving away. Jake tells them that Matt, George, Eddie, and Tina are all missing. Pam goes out to try and find them. Cut back to Ethel and Junior is totally ripping donuts in the backyard, just fucking up the lawn. He doesn't give a shit. He just got his ass beat. Well, Ethel and Junior both get it from Jason. Ethel with a pretty cool kill with a hatchet to her face as she falls into her own soup. Back at the halfway house, Jake is shooting his shot with Robin. And yeah, she kind of just laughs in his face, and this pisses him off. Robin then goes to tuck Reggie into bed and go to sleep herself. We then cut to Violet totally rocking out in her bedroom. And yeah, Jason kills her with a machete to the gut. Well, Reggie's having trouble sleeping and decides to walk around the house. When he walks into one room, he sees 3 dead people laying on the bed. We got Violet, Jake, and Robin. Tommy screams and runs out. Luckily, Pam has come back just in time, and she sees what's happening too, and they decide to make a run for it. Jason busts through the door, and yeah, we get the chase scene. Pam and Reggie are running around the halfway house, running around its property, and we get a really good scream from Reggie.
Reggie, shut the fuck up.
As Pam and Reggie are now split up, Pam's running around. She sees that Matt and George both got murdered as well. And then we have another awesome scene where Pam is about to get killed by Jason, and Reggie comes out of the barn, charging full steam ahead and fucks Jason up. Jason isn't done yet though, and chases them into the barn. Reggie and Pam are able to make their way up to the second level as Tommy walks in and just stares at Jason. Jason cuts him down. Now Tommy doesn't die. Tommy's able to evade Jason in this moment, and he's able to get up to the second level as well. Then we have a battle where Jason bites the bullet by getting pushed down off the barn into a bed of spikes. And as his mask comes off, we learn that it's not actually Jason, but it's Roy? What? Roy? The paramedic from the beginning of the film? What the fuck? So apparently Joey was Roy's son, and Roy then went on a vengeful killing spree, you know, killing everyone associated with the halfway house by putting on the Jason mask. So many ways you could have ended this movie, and it ends with Roy being the killer. Okay, whatever. It doesn't even make sense. Why wouldn't Roy just go after Vic? I mean, Vic was the one who chopped down Joey. But the movie does end with Tommy in his hospital room, putting on Jason's mask, sneaking around, hiding behind Pam as she comes in to visit him. The movie acts like he's gonna chop her down and he's the next Jason again, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like the last one, the way they ended it with that as well. They do the same thing in this movie. It's called A New Beginning. Friday the 13th, the same movie. So obviously not my favorite Friday the 13th movie, but it was actually entertaining. I was laughing. I thought the kills were decent. And yeah, the character story writing, all that stuff, you know, I'm not expecting it to be great at this point. This movie set a new low, maybe, in some ways. It was fun, I guess. I think it's like a 3.5 out of 10. And yeah, I hope they do something actually new with the next movie. I hope we don't follow this same storyline. Everyone says that part 6 is like their favorite or one of their favorites, so I'm excited for that. Thanks for all the support, guys. I appreciate you watching the videos. And if you like this one, consider subscribing. See you guys.
You big dildo. Eat your fucking slop.